It's anyone alive out there? Anyone awake out there? I'm checking in. We've had one hell of a storm ride, and my internet's just now come back on. Um, if any of you are still east of this storm, you need to take pretty extreme precaution. We've got stuff down all over the place. I had basically drifted off. Hey, Mary. I had kind of drifted off to sleep, and my phone woke me up with the tornado warning, and I pulled up the radar, and you could see a hook on there. I mean, there was definitely a tornado on the ground. It was about 5 miles south of me. Just missed me. Every time storms hit where I'm at in Illinois, they split up like God's magic hand or something. If you are east of Illinois, though, and awake, be watching. I was listening to our police scanner after that. There's trees and power lines down everywhere, and one of the gas stations got hit. Hey guys, God, you're all still up. That's awesome. And our power flickered for a little bit. We surprisingly didn't lose power here, but I was watching outside. I mean, we were having some mega winds, like some hardcore winds, and we were having them all day. But I was watching as it was coming in, and all day the winds were blowing directly out of the west. When I get up and open the door, the winds are blowing directly north. Like, this doesn't look good. But you know, it's so dangerous to put out a tornado warning. I was listening to the police scanner, and there was a woman who had a heart attack when the warning went off, and then a man that fell trying to get to his basement. No wonder they're so careful about those warnings. Connecticut, you're probably safe in Connecticut, but anybody, if you're in Indiana right now or Ohio, you should probably definitely keep an eye out. They're moving fast. I've never seen a storm move the speed this storm's moving. Usually you don't get tornadoes that spawn. I mean, you do, but not as much. Not of a storm like that, but I promised you guys I'd come back on, and I figured some of you might still be awake. Oh, I have to admit I haven't caught any news since about 3 o'clock this afternoon. My internet literally just came back on, so you guys could fill me in. What's been going on this evening? How are you guys doing? You're all safe, I assume. That's good. What did we cover earlier today when I was on the phone? Hopefully that loaded up my phone interview earlier today. United States Postal Service cutting a bunch of people. There really wasn't much news today, to be honest with you. It was pretty dull kind of day. I kind of enjoyed it, to be honest with you, but good to see you guys. Where are you all located? You're in Kansas City. Yeah, the winds probably were rocking there for a while today. Um, You're in Oklahoma. Snow in Arizona. That's odd. There's some weird fronts going on. I don't know. I haven't looked at the patterns that great, but it sort of looked like some unnatural weather fronts kind of happening tonight. Can't sleep, Clara. Where are you located? Sydney, Australia. You're lucky. It's funny. I fell asleep watching a thing through my phone about tornadoes in Chicago. The Senate passed the CR. That's a good question. Let me find out real quick. It looks like it. Yep. Senate passes a GOP funding bill to avert a government shutdown. It looks like the Democrats won't get their shutdown, I guess. That's good. That's a good bit of news I missed. Let's see. Trying to think what else. We talked about the arrest. Talked a lot about the arrest. Trump is going to use the what was it? The alien something act, Alien Enemies Act, and it's specifically for when we are under invasion or under war already. So it might be a good step forward to him explaining to the world that we've been under wartime conditions. I think it's more directly wrapped around what's happening at the border and Maduro sending him papers saying, hey, I got proof that those gang members Biden sent up there, he did that on purpose, and I have proof of it. And they know China had a hand money-wise and all that, so it stands to reason. And then I figured with what Wano Savanoy says about our problems with China that don't seem like they actually exist, maybe that's what that is really about. They're showing in a way how we've been under invasion for a while. Technically, it could be a good thing. Yeah, Catherine Herridge, we haven't heard from her that I know of. There was those videos coming out from Guantanamo, and then they suddenly stopped. Like, she put out like 3-4 of them. Has anyone else seen any of those that I missed? Oklahoma. I bet Oklahoma's got a hell of a tornado season. I've thought about driving out there during tornado season, staying for a couple weeks. She just confirmed that she's still there today on Gitmo TV. I'll have to check that out. Maybe I'll come on early tomorrow and catch up on all the things I missed today, but yeah, part of that Enemies Act had something to do with the people going to Guantanamo, but they were also bringing, what was it we looked at? They're bringing people up from Colombia. No. Is it Colombia? I think it might have been that they caught down there, and they're bringing him back here to face justice in Florida. I know I'm boring, guys. Everybody's changing the channel. I'm not staying on long anyway. I just wanted to update you. I'm still alive. And if you're east of the storm, please pay attention to it if you happen to still be up, because it's moving pretty damn fast. Trump is still expanding Gitmo. Yep, I saw that too. That's good news. And let me see if I can pull up this document I found today talking about the indictments. Somehow I overlooked that one earlier today. There we go. This is from Grok, by the way. Yeah. Forgot how to do it. 1 second, my friends. This is kind of an important post. And this, like I said, this is from Grok. This is from AI. Somebody asked it about these unsealed or sealed indictments. Sealed indictments are piling up, 562,000 as of March, with 78,000 unsealed already. Trump's term has 4 years to tackle this, but at the current rate of 4.6 thousand unsealed in 4 months, it's a stretch to clear them all. This pace would need to jump to over 120,000 indictments being unsealed per year. Military tribunals at Gitmo and other bases are active, but the backlog is massive. Justice moves slow and the swamp is this deep. And again, this is from AI. So what did it just tell you there? That military tribunals at Gitmo and other bases are active, but the backlog is massive. I guess you can only hang so many people in a day. Sorry to be so blunt about that, but that is what they're doing. It's the truth. Why don't they get out those guillotines that FEMA built for us and put them to good work on them? That would be that Esther moment that Juan talks about, you know, how the king gets hung by the gallows that he built. Yeah, that's how that works. All of Cuba lost power earlier? Really? One of your best friends is storm chaser for the news. That's awesome. I want that job. I used to chase them just for fun. But this one kind of caught me off guard. I mean, when my internet went out, that's the thing. I didn't really have the ability to look at radar for a good portion of the day. When my internet went out at like 3 o'clock this afternoon, it was still just entering Missouri. It was a pretty fast moving storm. It's booking. We got stuff down everywhere, trees and power lines, and it was pretty wild. It's a good point, Clara. For someone who is so smart, Elon sure has bad taste in women. Most surrogate children. What's up with that? He does have a lot of surrogate children, does he? Either he's got commitment problems. Maybe it's people with an autist thing. I don't know. I think people like that have a harder time understanding people usually, but on the other hand, I mean, he's pretty logical about the stuff he posts on X. They're pretty well directed towards good things for people. Maybe he just wants a bunch of children. I guess if you're the richest man on earth, you might as well have some kids to share it with. Good point, though. You're up late reading lots of news on Telegram. Is that because Jack didn't come on tonight with all of it? You had to sit up and read it. Damn it. Hey, Gingeroo. Good evening. Where do you live? We were talking about the storm. I just came up, got on because my internet came back on, and we had tornado warnings, and just wanted to warn people east of me and tell you guys it'd take more than a tornado to stop me. Well, that's a good question too, Clara. They it, I don't know how to look at that Elon question. Okay, it was SG Anon, I think. No. It was the guy from And We Know, LT, who first said he thought Elon had been switched out or was being played by an actor. And that was really the first time I had even thought about that situation. I don't think that's the case, though. The way Juan made it sound, he explained it like, okay, they put Zuckerberg in to run a DARPA project, right? Facebook. And so what if they recruited Elon a long time ago to be on the good side of things? And that's what SpaceX has been about. Say SpaceX isn't actually his, and they just tasked him to run it. Sort of like, oh, fuck, I can't remember. What else did they say? Like the Bitcoin was a DARPA project. So I was thinking maybe that's what he's trying to tell you, is Elon was sort of placed. And another thing he pointed out to people was that there's been a lot of people all this time that we think are against Trump that aren't actually against Trump. They were placed in those positions. Two can play that game. I mean, they infiltrated Trump. Think he wasn't going to infiltrate them back? But that's the nature of the psyop, I suppose. Arlington, Texas. Yeah, well, you're good. You're safe. I've actually never seen the wind shift directions that fast like it did tonight. I mean, you see them wind kind of blowing different directions when the storm really approaches, but damn. It shifted from going directly west or from the west into directly from the south. Wild storm. How come Elon has so much hair now? Well, either because he's the richest man on earth and can pay for really good hair treatment, which they do have now. They've got some pretty damn good hair regrowth methods. Or it's not Elon, but I don't know. I somehow think it is Elon. I don't know. You know, people make a decision at a point in life just because he grew up in a family that might be connected to some evil things doesn't mean he has to be that way. Tragic highway accident in Austin, Texas. Damn. 17 vehicle accident? Jeez. Waiting for mortgages to disappear. Well, hang in there. They did say, and for what it's worth, that when this crash comes, it's supposed to be coming soon, where the economy crashes, that your 401ks are supposed to be okay and safe, from what I read. So there's that. It'll probably be rough. I mean, it's never good when your economy crashes. Maybe that will be this near-death experience. That would make sense, actually, because it would affect us, but it would be for them. Like Juan said, that this near-death experience is for them. That would make really good sense, actually. And he said it wouldn't last for long. What about savings accounts? It's a good question. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I don't know. I wish I did. And I wish I had a savings account. Oh, I did hear about that one, ANCAP. My brother told me. The Connecticut woman that kept her stepson locked up for 20 years. Oh my God. He was like 12 when she locked him up, and now he's 32, and he weighed 68 pounds or something like that when they found him. What the fuck is wrong with people? I'll tell you guys, I hope we come to a day where positive news starts to reign in over the negative news again, if ever there were a day like that. You just read these stories day after day and you're like, what the hell is wrong with people? And it starts to make you think that there's more bad people in the world than good people. You looked up XRP in the Hebrew alphabet and it translates limitless. Interesting. We saw that thing yesterday that Kim Clement did many years ago. I see something with an X and a P, but I didn't see the rest of it. And it's something you're going to want to invest in. Yeah. I wish I understood it more or had money to invest anyway. A family in Texas was robbed and assaulted. I think that happens 1,000 times a day in Chicago. But that's something we talked about earlier today, too. They've gotten massive amounts of gang members off the streets. Before all this started, before they were talking about Tren de Aragua and the caravans coming up here, they had already been placing MS-13 members up here in the country for a long time. And those are the people, if you remember right, that Barack Obama armed. Wasn't that nice of him to make sure the cartel had weapons? And while he was doing that, Hillary was making sure Russia had plenty of uranium. But yet Trump's the evil American. How dumb are people? I mean, I don't like to say that about people, but damn, the ignorant stuff I seen coming out of the left today. How dumb are people? Or just how distracted are people, I guess, would be the better question. Yeah. Time is a commodity, but I'm not really interested in monetizing the channel. I think it would put out the wrong message. I don't like the scam commercials they have on YouTube, false advertise. Yeah, stuff like that. A lot of reasons why I probably just wouldn't monetize this channel. But my new channel, on the other hand, that's what I get to kick off tomorrow. You bought some XRP, Susan. Good deal. Smart. Smart move. I know a lot of people were counting on Bitcoin. I don't know what the future of it will be. I don't think it'll crash, even though it's a fake government operation. But since they're going to use our stockpile to possibly pay off our debt in this country, according to what people are saying. Yeah, today is tomorrow. Guess I'll be on twice today. We still got a lot of change to accomplish in this country, but I do see a lot of good things. A lot of good things we talked about earlier today. I don't think crime will keep rising. The legals might be losing their jobs if places are afraid to keep them hired. But number one, I don't think near as many illegals came into the country as they claimed came in the country. And I hate to play that card, but if you understand this right, they say Biden had those people brought in, but did he? When Trump was technically half in control as well. I mean, Trump had more control during the 4 years of Biden than you think. And so there's some frustrating things to that. But would Trump purposely allow all those people to pour into the country? No. They might lie to you on national news and make you think there's millions more than there are. You know, those streets that they said were filling up weren't really that filled up. So I think it was part of the psyop personally. Just like the number of people they claim are dying from this vaccine. I don't know if I can say that. I'm not so sure it's accurate, especially if Trump really swapped them all out with saline. Doesn't quite make sense either why people would be having adverse reactions. So, yeah, there may have been a certain amount of them that were not saline. I don't know. Don't quote me on all that. I'm just going by what Juan has said and other people. It's a psyop. Everything's been a psyop, so it's hard to, not to sound like a dick, but it's kind of hard to believe any of them. I'm not saying I don't trust Trump. I'm just saying I don't trust any politician ever, nor will I ever again. So I don't think Biden had shit for control. I think Biden was working for Trump, and I don't even know. I don't even know how to go into this nightmare of a story. I'm just saying, though, it wouldn't surprise me if there weren't as many illegals in the country as far as that came up here during Biden's watch. But even then, after they're targeting the most violent criminals now, the ones that supposedly came up here from insane asylums and prisons, the gang members. Look at the others. Yeah, the patents say 2015, but those weren't supposed to be the ones released. They had pre-planned this event, and I think they probably did have night, Mr. or Mrs. Umbrella, sorry. No. But I think that was part of why Trump tried to do Operation Warp Speed, either to put his out first, or, and maybe there still may have been a certain number of them that went out there that were bad. I don't know. It sounded like there probably was. But I don't know. We've been in a weird situation. I mean, I think Derek Johnson's right about what he says, but he may be wrong about the extent of it. Just because we're in a military operation under military occupation, it doesn't mean that everything happening's a psyop, or that everything that happened is a psyop. And Juan's people keep swearing up and down that Trump was actually shot, so starting to wonder on that one. Mr. Johnson might just be wrong about that one. We're Matrix people. We're matrixed into our own prison. Did you guys see this? I gotta show you this video. It's short. And I don't know if it's real or AI, to be honest with you, but it's actually really cool. Makes me think our flying cars are coming sooner. Check out that BMW. Looks pretty real to me. Let's see that again. Hard to tell. It's not hard to make fake videos anymore. Yes, when he was shot in the ear. At Butler, Pennsylvania last year. Remember the whole Derek Johnson coming out and saying he didn't think it really happened and it's part of the PSYOP. May not have been. Like I said, just because we're under military occupation does not mean everything's a PSYOP, you know. Hit by the reporters. Camera boom. People can't drive, let alone fly. Yeah, I agree with you there. But I have not, Mary. I've seen the Cadillac flying cars they're working on. Trump got hit by a reporter's camera boom. I didn't see that. That would piss me off. Your one damn job is the boom holders to hold the boom, not smack the president in the head with it. What do you guys think about the Mahmoud Khalil situation we were talking about earlier, and the college student that they're deporting? He's here on a green card, by the way. I still don't feel bad for him. I feel bad, but I don't get why you would come to study in a country that you hate. It doesn't make sense to me. You could go study lots of places. Why do you come to the one country that you hate to study? And even then, if his opinion is, oh, I think I back Hamas, I suppose it's even fine if he wants to go as far as to express that opinion. But when he's actively trying to recruit other college students to join his terroristic cause, his ass needs kicked out of the country, and I don't feel bad for him. And all those Democrats might, until one of them, ends up his target. Then they'll say, why didn't Trump get him out of the country? Yep. No, I agree. I think they needed to get him out of here. I think he was from Syria. You're here to study, and even worse, he had a family, a wife and a kid. What's he doing dicking around with this Hamas crap? You know? He made his own bed. And there's going to be more deportations of college students. That's what J.D. Vance said today. So the left best prepare themselves. And if they hate the country so bad too, we can arrange for them to get on some deportation flights as well. Oh, I guess they're from here. We can't do that, but what's that, Susan? The UNRUW? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of people here in the country. Like I said, they placed MS-13 people here for a long time. I did see that. No more visas for students coming from China. I think that has to do with what's coming again with this Alien Enemies Act of 1798. I think it's going to prove that China funded Biden's administration to bring violent illegals into this country, which is an invasion of this country. So we might have a little kerfluffle with China, but I don't think it's going to be like people think. I think they've probably already got it figured out. Gotta go back to sleep now. Figures on a night that I'd be actually sleeping well that we'd get a loud tornado warning on my phone. Guess who the first one in the bathroom was at my house? You're going to laugh at this. Because I don't have a basement. So, and I don't really take shelter from storms anyway, but my dog did. He was hiding in the bathroom. He's scared of the thunder, but he was hiding in the bathroom, and it's like, maybe he's smarter than all of us, you know? He's like, come on, you dipshit humans. Do you not hear that roar coming? Animals are funny. China to supply smart switching hardware for our electrical grids. Yeah, Juan talked about that too. Certain parts of our electrical components that have come over here from China, they can remote access. So they could shut down our transformers from China, basically. But you know whose fault that is? Ours. We could have hardened that stuff a long time ago against DMP attacks. We could have gotten rid of those switches a long time ago. The theory that Jackie Kennedy fired the fatal shot, I think it's just a bunch of ridiculous crap, honestly. And I know why people have that theory. I think people think that theory because they think that somehow Jackie and John were on the outs because of this alleged affair. I don't think there was an affair, to be honest with you. When you start listening more about what Marilyn Monroe's job was, and she may have been more on the alliance side of things than the deep state side of things. And I know you're going, huh? You think there wasn't an alliance working on this exact plan now, back before John F. Kennedy became president? You'd be wrong. They've been working on this a lot longer than then. I think Kennedy was well aware of this exact same plan that Donald Trump is working on, in my opinion. So no, I think it's just something people came up with. I'm not even so sure about the driver theory, to be honest with you. People have picked apart the Kennedy stuff for decades since it happened, and I'm not sure they're any closer to the actual truth, honestly. I have a feeling we're all wrong about what happened that day. Not because I think he somehow faked his death. I don't think he faked his death. I don't believe that theory either. I think that's just something somebody kind of came up with. I'm sure there's a lot of things that happen in this world that we just have no clue about. Things that we wouldn't even be able to necessarily wrap our minds around. I think we'll find out when they say, when you read Q posts, Trump talks a lot of, well, if it's Trump, I think it's got Trump involved in it, but it talks a lot about Kennedy and doing things now in the Kennedy's name. And then they say Israel's for last for a very specific reason. Why do you think that is? Because they were involved in killing Kennedy. And that's why they're for last. And because they basically rule this world, in case and nobody noticed. Hell, that Balfour Declaration basically gave the Rothschilds their own damn country. But that video we played earlier in my phone thing, I hope that made a point that the Israel of the Bible is not the Israel of today. People are very mistaken, but not many. I don't think people are fooled anymore. And not that I trust surveys, but a lot of them show that a lot of Americans don't support Israel anymore. And it's not about the people. It's not about the biblical idea. It's about a government that's evil. Like it or not, they're plagued by evil. It's hard to believe that. I know, I'm sure it's hard to believe that the so-called Holy Land might be one of the most unholy places on the planet. so much evil's happened on this planet, and from Britain and America alone, we're kind of still obligated to help the rest of the world, to be honest with you. We've killed a lot of people. Oh, I think Trump already pulled the switcheroo on Israel. I think they know that's the plan. I think Netanyahu's just forced to go along with it. Um, this stuff was always there. The proof was always there. If people did their own homework a long time ago, proof that Israel was corrupt, that Iran was practically controlled by Israel and America. All this shit's been there for people to discover, but they made sure they kept certain things out of your history classes, and they write your education, and they put a bunch of bullshit in your head. It's their version of the CIA in Israel. It's more like our CIA is Israeli CIA. They're all ass kissed. Well, yeah, you make a good point there, Gingeroo. No wonder we're hated. You're exactly right. We created Hamas. We didn't create Hamas like we actually created ISIS and some of these other terrorist groups and funded them and gave them weapons and trained them. But we created Hamas with our actions, like it or not. If people still believe there was a war on terrorism that meant something, sorry to shatter your world there, but we were the terrorists. We were the terrorists. The war on terror, we were the terrorists. We were out there killing innocent people. I don't care if you change the channel for me saying that or not. Don't care if you like it or not. That's why I didn't go into the military, because I was not going to kill innocent people for George Bush. And if people were paying attention back then, they would have seen that back then. But no, everybody was all like still on their 9/11 high horse. Oh, we got to listen to the government now because there was a terrorist attack and the news told us that this happened. I mean, come on, people. People have a hard time admitting they've been played for fools their whole life, but I've tried to tell certain people in my family things for years, and years later they come out and say, I can't believe that was happening. Do you remember me telling you that a few years ago and you laughed in my face about it? I remember. It was getting bad during the pandemic time, guys. I mean, I was really getting to a point where people were starting to make me feel crazy. Like, genuinely crazy. Like, I was really starting to wonder if I'm losing it in the world of politics, but and mainly because my therapist thought I was losing it talking about it. Can't wait to see her again. Hey, darling, remember all that stuff I told you a few years ago in therapy? How do you feel about that now? I'm going to have to therapize the therapist. Tell me about your mother. Now that I don't believe. I don't believe anybody was crowned. If they think we're going to have a king of the earth, they are mistaken. That would be the biggest mistake they could make, is to try and crown Trump as some kind of king. That would really be bad. That would cause future wars endlessly. I would be more of the theory that they're going to kill Trump at the end of this and fake his death. That's what I think. You think we're all going a little crazy then? I feel pretty damn sane. I don't know about you. I feel like the world around me is fucking crazy. Pardon my French. People call in and say, why is this happening? Yeah, well, Trump wouldn't do that. No, I don't. I think they know better than to try and crown a king of the world. If they did that, that would be the day I stopped supporting Trump. What I think was written on the envelopes at the Bush funeral, not what people think. I think is more akin to what Juan O'Sullivan said, not the thing that everybody thinks it said, that I told him everything, sorry. I don't think it was that at all. I think it was what Juan said it was. It was long because they were reading it longer than just reading one sentence. And I think he was right when they said there was probably a little picture of their Georgie at Guantanamo, because apparently he was not executed. Which, surprisingly, for a guy like me who's against the death penalty, I don't know whether to be sad or happy about that. George Bush is the worst piece of shit to ever, possibly ever, walk this earth. That may be a stretch, but pretty close. I mean, I'm probably going a little bit overboard here, but if ever anybody deserved to swing from the end of a rope, it's George Bush. No, he wasn't executed. John McCain may have been. That's probably true. But that was easy to prove, John McCain's crimes. By the time they got to George Bush, he was a feeble old fart in a wheelchair. And I'm sure they still had plenty of crimes to pin on him, but evil people. And they brought so many good people down with them through money and payoffs. If ever money were the source of all evil, the love of money. The love of money made grown men and women turn their backs on children that were being abused. Is that what money's worth to you? Your soul? I can't believe there's people like that in this world. It's hard for me to understand. I get it. Yes, we're up, Rebecca. The tornado warning woke me up. It is bad and it's sad. And all those soldiers that were tricked into going over to Iraq have to live the rest of their lives knowing that they were used as pawns. They were used. I wasn't going to be used. Otherwise, I probably would have joined when I left school. But things happen the way they're supposed to happen, I guess. If all this stuff that we're talking about now, all this horror, didn't happen, nobody would have come in and save the place, would they? You know what I'm saying? Evil evil is, serves a purpose. And that's the deep conversation we were having last night, Ginger. You kept asking why, was it you? You kept asking why God would create evil or create Lucifer. And I'm still not so sure that I would say he created evil, but both Bushes were evil. Yeah, with all fair respect, I think George Bush Jr. might be retarded. I kind of picture him as too retarded to be evil. And still people voted him into office. Not that Al Gore was any more with it. I am Al Gore. I'm officially tired. It's been a very, very long day. Retarded? Yeah, well, look at the man. I don't think George Bush was capable of knocking down a freaking anything. I mean, I'd be surprised if he could work a chainsaw to cut down a tree, let alone knock down 2 buildings. But that's okay. Daddy's crew was there for him. That's why he had Dick Cheney and Donald Rumsfeld and all those cronies. Colin Powell, Susan Rice, all his daddy's wicked little people. Yes, we should probably go to sleep. Our tornado sirens really didn't even have time to go off, and if you want me to be honest with you, we had about an 8-minute warning between the time my phone went off and the tornado struck the gas station 5 miles south of me. So 8 minutes, not very good, to be honest with you, especially when it's the middle of the night. And again, I mean, you got to be careful with doing stuff like that, because as I was listening to the police scanner afterwards, again, there was a man that fell down the stairs trying to get to his basement, an old woman that had a heart attack when the siren went off in the middle of the night. And I don't know if you guys have ever had like an Amber Alert go off on your phone. They're loud. I mean, those, when your phone goes off, it's like, I mean, it's like, it's loud enough to wake my ass up. But yeah, maybe I'll go drive around in the morning and get some footage. See what that gas station 5 miles south of here looks like. We haven't had a good tornado warning in my part of Illinois for a long time. We're in like a retarded part of Illinois. Figures it would happen at night where I couldn't see it and chase it. Actually, honestly, I didn't expect it to get here that quick. Like I said, it was in Missouri at like 3 o'clock today. It was moving fast. My tattoos, I've got 4. Um, I've got 4. I've got the my arms are backwards on the screen. A very terrible sun. My tattoo of the channel logo from the beginning. Battle axe. And then a very methed up biker tried to do the truth and courage Led Zeppelin symbol, and he did the worst circle I have ever seen in my life. Needs fixed. Someday I'll get it fixed. I'm kind of lazy. All of mine were done in a biker's garage in the middle of nowhere. They're not professional tattoos, technically. Not the recommended way of getting a tattoo, but when you're drunk and you're 20, I guess, you know. At least I didn't get anything I was going to regret someday. I don't regret any of them. I could probably use a few more, actually. I like tattoos. That's just me. Am I giving you a good laugh, Gingeroo? Is it the retarded George Bush thing? You still can't get that out of your head? What gets me is these evil guys you wouldn't even think were evil. I was talking to my brother about this. Like hepatitis, yes, that's a good reason not to get a tattoo in a garage, a biker's garage. Hepatitis. They can cure that now, but it's an expensive cure. And I know that because a lot of heroin addicts ended up with it all over the country. It's supposed to be a Harley. I'll take the Crow or the Harley. You got your first tattoo at 40? Nice. Yeah, paid protesters are despicable. That's about the lowest of the lows. If they want to go out and throw stuff at Tesla dealerships, more power to you. I am not spending 20 years of my life behind bars to chuck something at a Tesla. That's the epitome of stupid right there. You hate the guy so much you're going to let him be the cause of you losing 20 years of your life. That's where I don't understand the logic of people sometimes. We all have 4 tattoos. I would have had 5, but the guy that did the sun on my arm about turned my arm into ground beef making that tattoo. I mean, he was like tearing flesh. It was. He was kind of pissed off at me when he was doing that one. Don't let a pissed off person tattoo you. They're not very gentle about it. Oh, people are starting to change the channel. I must be getting boring or turning you off. People are so stupid. Go out and protest Elon Musk. I would like them to give me one good reason to go out and protest Elon Musk. Is it because the news told them that Elon Musk was stealing their information? The world's richest man needs your information and your shit? I don't think so. That's the kind of retarded thinking that goes on in people's brains. I'm happy to see the news become the joke that it is, finally. Finally. But there's still people that are believing it, so until they get them off the air completely, which I would have hoped would happen by now, but I think they're taking control back of the airwaves. I mean, you see the stuff CNN is reporting now. I mean, it's changing a little bit, but you still have MSNBC, which is like the lowest of the lows. You could not pay me enough to work for those people. You couldn't do it. You could not pay me enough to go work for MSNBC. I would rather break my own legs. All that being said, ladies and gents, that's really all I got for you tonight. I'm alive. I'm alive. We're not in Kansas anymore, but we're still in Illinois, unfortunately. So, there's that. Stab yourself? Yeah. I might do that too if I had to work at MSNBC. You don't need CNN when you got me? Oh, that's sweet. I hope so. I hope I can be somewhat effective. I was pretty happy today to notice when I went live, even though I was doing news on my phone, people were actually staying tuned in today. And I feel like it's because there was no intro. So I may do the show without intros next week and do them as outros. Just see if we can get more people watching. We know there's more patriots out there. And I was growing pretty decently when YouTube was doing their censorship, so I feel like we can actually grow pretty significantly. Especially now that they let me keep my videos up. Now, if only I had my 3,000 subscribers back from the channel they took. That's okay. They'll find me again. We'll grow, guys. Things are getting better. Yeah, Carolyn Leavitt is doing a pretty good job at the White House and the press briefings and making it clear that the Associated Press doesn't mean squat anymore. It's about time somebody taught him that lesson. Biggest joke on the people ever. Running every damn newspaper and radio station. I bet you guys think when you turn on a radio station that you're listening to a single radio station, right? You flip on the radio, you flip on a station, you think somewhere there's a building for that radio station, right? You would not believe how many radio stations are run out of one building. Here in Illinois, there's like 2 media groups own every radio station in the state. So, don't be fooled by radio. Don't be fooled by your newspapers. In the end, my local newspaper was coming out of a place that was printing like a dozen different newspapers by that point for Illinois. It's a joke. It's a freaking joke. So, do not get fooled by your TVs and newspapers. It's a bunch of nonsense. All right. Time to wrap this up. No, it didn't used to be that way. It's just how it became. Bigger newspapers started buying up smaller ones. Bigger radio stations bought up smaller ones. And sort of like China buying up all the manufacturing. Everything ends up being a clown show. We live in the middle of a clown show. Yeah. I think the media tried very hard to avoid Trump in 2016. They're evil people. Some of them just don't even... I'm not going to say they're too dumb to realize what they're doing, but Tucker Carlson kind of said it in his own way. He was the same way. He was fooled. He didn't know he was working for a bunch of evil. Tucker Carlson was terrible back in the day. Couldn't stand watching him back in the day. Or Greg Gutfeld back when Bush was in office. I could not freaking stand those two. Maybe Mary. It should be investigated as a RICO case. If it's not, the George Soros deal. They need to take those radio stations back away from the man. Especially if they have proof they were used in a crime to give away ICE raids. Fingers crossed Can only hope. All right, guys and gals, I'm going to end the show, and I don't know, my internet's back on now. Maybe I'll watch TV. No, I should probably go to sleep because I have a lot of work to do tomorrow. So, I'm going to let you go, my good friends. Yep. I love you guys. It's good to see you all still up. You all said you were insomniacs too, but now I see it. Now I get it. Glad everybody's safe, though. If you guys live east of me, stay safe, please. It's a nasty storm. Alex Soros. I don't think he's engaged to Huma Abedin. Isn't she married to Anthony Weiner? I do think George Soros is dead, though, personally, but anyway, I will be on tomorrow sometime. Might come on a little early tomorrow, so I will see you guys, though, for sure. So have a good night, sleep tight, kick some ass, win the fight. Yeah, Evangelina. She was on earlier when I was on the phone, so she didn't miss much. Didn't miss much. Just wanted you guys to know I'm alive. So, good night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow.